Yo, what's poppin', my people? It's your boy Crooks the Great, back at you guys with another banger of a UFC video. And in today's video, where I'm gonna be giving you guys my UFC 285 fight predictions, man. And man, oh man, is the fight that we have all been looking for finally here, man. We got Jon Jones taking on Cyril for the vacant UFC heavyweight title, and what honestly could be a legacy defining fight for Jon Jones, because in my opinion, if he wins this fight against Cyril and becomes the heavyweight champion of the world, you can't debate. I think the GOAT discussion is about over. I mean, right now he's kind of sitting in conversation with him and GSP, but yeah, if he's able to win the heavyweight title after taking 3 years off, I think the discussion is over. With his resume, the discussion is over. The guy should be 27-0. It would make him almost 28-0, and I think it'd be over. But we're gonna get into before we get into that fight, we're gonna go ahead and look at the rest of the card as well, because the rest of the card is absolutely fucking stacked. It's stacked. I mean, look at these fights, man. There's not a fight on this card where you could be like, oh man, that lacks star power, or oh man, that fight doesn't deserve to be up here. All of these fights are bangers, and I'm actually gonna break down or give my pick for the featured prelim too, just because it's Cody Garbrandt. But without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it. So for the featured prelim, we got Cody Garbrandt taking on Jon Jones. Now this is a short notice fight for Jon Jones, so I think it's gonna be a little bit too much. I think Cody Garbrandt is gonna be a little bit too much for Jon Jones, just because although Cody has lost his last two fights up at bantamweight, he's still real powerful, really fast. The only concern for Cody Garbrandt here would be obviously his chin. How is that chin holding up? Because it's been a real struggle for him, man, and especially against Rob Font. Rob Font put it on him, and then he came back at his little brief stint at flyweight and got finished by Kai Kara France. So how is that chin of Cody Garbrandt going to be able to hold up? And I think Jon Jones is going to try to test that. But I think in his return, I think Cody Garbrandt will do enough just to be able to get past Jon Jones. And I wouldn't be surprised to see Cody Garbrandt actually get a finish in this fight. So that's who I'm going to be taking. And for those of you guys that love betting on UFC fights, here is the line as of right now on DraftKings. It's minus 175 for Cody Garbrandt and plus 150 for Jon Jones. So, not too big of a line, but it does favor Cody Garbrandt in this fight. So let's go ahead and jump up into the first fight of the main card, and that is Bo Nickal versus Jamie Pickett. This fight, honestly, is probably one of the easier fights for me to call. I mean, it's probably going to be the easiest decision for a lot of you guys that bet on fights, as well as, just if you know fighting, you know what the UFC is trying to do here. They're setting Bo Nickal up for kind of a gimme fight against Jamie Pickett, because Jamie Pickett is coming off two back-to-back losses. We're going to take a look right here. Look, see, he lost against, I don't know how to say this guy's last name, so I'm not going to butcher it. And then he lost against the Caucus as well. And he lost both by finishes. He lost one by a submission and then one via KO. So, I mean, it's kind of just a gimme fight for Bo Nickal. Unfortunately, Jamie Pickett, I love watching you fight, bro. I respect you. You're a competitor, but, it's kind of just, the UFC's kind of throwing you out to the wolves, man. And although I love an underdog story, and I would love for Jamie Pickett to somehow come back and make this a competitive fight against Bo Nickal, I don't really see that happening. I think Bo Nickal is he's just gonna dominate him with the grappling. But I honestly wouldn't be surprised to see Bo Nickal get a finish on the feet as well. Because what tends to happen with guys like Bo Nickal that have this elite level grappling is their opponents tend to just focus in on not getting taken down. And I think so many people undervalue Bo Nickal's striking, they just kind of sleep on it. He actually has decent to good striking, man. He does. So if Jamie Pickett is just hell-bent on not letting Bo Nickal take him down, I would not be surprised to see Bo Nickal get a finish. And I'm going to call this fight probably, I'll go by Bo Nickal by submission in the second round in this fight. I think Jamie Pickett will survive the first round and be able to take Bo into the second, but then I think Bo's just going to wear him down and possibly get a submission. But I wouldn't be surprised, like I said, to see Bo get a TKO on the feet as well. So the line for this fight right now is sitting at minus 1,800 for Bo Nickel and plus 1,000 for Jamie Pickett. So if this fight goes the opposite way, if Bo Nickel loses this fight to Jamie Pickett, he is going to cost bettors so much damn money. Like, if I'm a bettor, I'm betting like $100 maybe on Jamie Pickett and just hoping for the damn best. Because if he wins, you're going to win a lot of money, bro. I'm not going to cap to you. But like I said, that's why I don't bet on MMA, because anything can happen in this sport. But all right, let's go ahead and jump up to the next fight that we do have here, and that is a lightweight bout between Mateus Gamra and Jalen Turner. This is another short notice fight. Jalen Turner was supposed to fight, oh man, I forgot who he was supposed to fight right now. I'm losing. I have a brain fart. I'm not gonna cap to you, but Jalen Turner was supposed to fight somebody else. Mateus Gamra stepped in on short notice. He had his last performance out. He lost to Neal. So I'm thinking he's just chomping at the bit to get back into the octagon, to be able to get a win and get that win back and get back into title contention. But going up against somebody like Jalen Turner, it's a tough task, especially on short notice. This dude is an absolute beast, and he's a really, really highly touted prospect in the lightweight division. And that's saying a lot, because the lightweight division is very, very stacked at the moment. But this fight is a classic striker. It's not really a... Jalen Turner has a good ground game. It just makes for an interesting fight, man. Because Mateus Gamra is a very, very elite level grappler, but I feel like he was exposed in the Beneil Dariush fight, because Beneil Dariush does not have the best grappling. He has elite level grappling. He doesn't have the best striking, and he was able to piece up Gamra on the feet, and that's overall eventually what won Beneil Dariush the fight. And then Gamra was able to get him in a couple of scrambling scenarios, but when he was able to get effective grappling going, he just really wasn't able to do anything to Dariush in that fight. But Dariush, like I said, is an elite level fighter. So if Jalen Turner is able to neutralize and stop Gamrot from getting him down on the ground, I strongly favor Jalen Turner in this fight. But that's a tall task, because Gamrot is not only an elite level grappler, he also trains at one of the best camps in the world at ATT. So, you know, these guys, it's going to be a tough task for Jalen Turner to stop Gamrot from getting him down on the ground. And if Gamrot's able to get him on the ground, it's going to make for a real, real long night. So I would say it's fair to say it's a striker versus grappler matchup. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and pick Gamrot in this fight. I think it's going to be a real, real close fight between him and Jalen Turner. I don't think that there's going to be a finish in this fight. I really honestly don't. I think it's going to be going to a decision, but I'm going to pick Gamrot to win this fight, just because I think it's a big step up for Jalen Turner in competition. And Gamrot's just an elite level grappler that just is chomping at the bit to get back into the top 5. So I'm going to be picking Gamrot here in this fight. So let's go ahead and look at the live odds on DraftKings. Right now, Gamrot is sitting at minus 215 to Jalen's plus 185. So it looks like the sports book bettors are betting on Gamrot to win this fight as well. But like I said, I wouldn't be surprised to see Jalen Turner win this fight either, if he's able to nullify that elite level grappling of Gamrot. So let's go ahead and move up into the next fight here that we do have for you guys. And this is one of my favorite fights on this damn card. We got Jeff Hands of Steel Neal going up against Sharkcat Rachmanov. And man, oh man, does this fight have the potential to be fight of the damn night, man. It's a highly touted fight against two of the up-and-coming guys in welterweight. Jeff Neal coming off that dominant performance of Vicente Luque, however you say his last name. I don't know why I butcher Vicente's last name so much. I just have so much damn trouble doing it. But he's coming off that dominant win over Vicente. Sharkcat Rachmanov is an elite level fighter, man. This dude is a crazy good striker, has really good grappling, just an all-around high level fight. This is a big step up in competition for Sharkcat, man. Big step up in competition. So we're going to see how he does against somebody in the top 10 with Jeff Neal. And honestly, something concerned me. Okay, something concerns me about this fight. I was hyped as could be for this fight happening until yesterday at the weigh-ins. Jeff Neal missed weight by 4 pounds. I believe 3 or 4 pounds, which is a really, really big deal, guys. It's a really, really big deal. And it can either go one of two ways. It could either be because Jeff Neal was having trouble. His body wasn't responding to that weight cut down to welterweight. So that could hamper him in the fight. Or it could have been, hey, you know what? I know I'm not going to make weight, so I'm going to get it around to where it's like, you know, it's feasible that Sharkcat will still take the fight. But either way, it's not a good look for Jeff Neal. I'm not going to lie. And it's really going to play a big factor in this fight. I feel like if Sharkcat is able to win against Jeff Neal now, it's kind of going to be a little bit of an asterisk because people are going to say, well, Jeff Neal had trouble making weight. And in all honesty, if Sharkcat's able to win this fight against Jeff Neal, that really shouldn't be how people look at it, man. Sharkcat is an elite level fighter. But for the fight itself, I believe this fight's going to be a barn burner on the feet, yo. I really, really do. I think Jeff Neal is going to try to put some pressure on Sharkcat. But Sharkcat is a very, very good counter striker. He's very, very tall for the weight class. So he's a big welterweight. And like I said, he's just very, very skilled. So I'm really, really hyped up to see how this fight plays out. I honestly could see both men winning this fight. Not going to lie. I could see Jeff Neal catching Sharkcat with something and really, really pushing him to the limit. And I could see Sharkcat knocking Jeff Neal out as well. Catching Jeff Neal with something that he doesn't see. Or just being real unpredictable with the striking. So with that being said, man, I'm actually going to go with the underdog in this fight. I'm going to go with Jeff Hands of Steel Neal in this fight. I just get a hunch, man. I just get a hunch. Like I said, it's a big jump up for Sharkcat. It's a real big jump up. And, you know, this is his first time on a main card on this caliber of a fight card. I mean, it's being headlined by Jon Jones. A Jon Jones fight card is kind of like a Conor McGregor fight card. If you're new to fighting on main cards, these are one of the cards that are the most difficult to fight on because these guys are mega stars and it's going to be a big crowd and you know they're going to be getting rowdy and you're hyped up and you know the hype is on you. So there's a lot of pressure on Sharkcat to really deliver in this fight. And I think Jeff Neal is a crafty veteran. He's been here before. For those of you guys that don't know about Jeff Neal, he's taken on some really, really good fighters, man. His last 3 fights, even though he did lose against Neil Magny, that's a big fight. He took on Ponzinibbio, who's another elite level guy. I mean, look at what he was able to do in his last performance. And then taking on a guy like Vicente and getting a KO in a main event is, you know, it's nothing to be scoffed at, man. So he's been here. He's fought some of the elite level guys. And so I just think that experience is going to play a heavy factor. And with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and pick Jeff Neal. I'm going to pick him by decision. I don't think he's going to be able to finish Sharkcat, but I would pick Jeff Neal by a decision. So let's go ahead and look at the live fight lines here. We got Jeff Neal is a plus 370 to Sharkcat's minus 460. So, you know, the bettors are picking Sharkcat, especially after Jeff Neal missing weight yesterday. I'm not surprised that the line is sitting at this. I'm really not surprised. So, but I'm still going to be picking Jeff Neal in this fight. But all right, let's go ahead and move up to the co-main event of the evening. We got Valentina Bullet Shevchenko taking on my girl Alexa Grasso. Man, oh man, this is a good fight, but I feel like this fight's being slept on. I feel like this fight is really, really being slept on because I've been watching a lot of the UFC 285 prediction shows, breakdowns, and really not enough people are giving Alexa Grasso respect. I think the only person that gave Alexa Grasso respect is Henry Cejudo. If you guys haven't checked out Henry Cejudo's YouTube channel, he does fight breakdowns, he does fight predictions, and this guy is the only guy that really gave Alexa Grasso respect, and that's because he trains with both of these. He's trained with both of these women before, and he gave Alexa Grasso her respect. But I feel like people are kind of sleeping on this fight because they just look at Alexa Grasso as just a pure striker, a pure boxer. They say, well, she doesn't really have that much of a ground game. But in all honesty, I'm going to be as respectful with it as I can. You need to go ask Joanna Calderwood if Alexa Grasso doesn't have a ground game. Simple as that. Go ask Joanna Calderwood about Alexa Grasso's ground game. She has a decent ground game. It's not Talia Santos's ground game, but it's a decent ground game, yo. I don't think if Valentina was to try to take her down that Alexa Grasso couldn't hold her own on the ground. And I think if given the opportunity, Alexa Grasso would capitalize and be able to get a sub on Valentina Shevchenko too. But we are talking about Valentina Shevchenko, man. She's arguably the best women's MMA fighter in the game right now. I mean, it's you go her and Amanda Nunes, whoever you want to pick. Obviously, a lot of people pick Amanda Nunes over Valentina Shevchenko because she has beaten Valentina Shevchenko twice. But in my opinion, Valentina won that second fight. I feel like the second fight between her and Amanda Nunes was a robbery. But it's 1-2. 1-2. Valentina, Amanda, whoever you want to go first and second, they're both there. So Valentina is a well-rounded fighter. Very, very high-level striker. Very, very elite-level grappler. I feel like there's a big question mark now as to if Valentina has kind of taken a step back and kind of fell off a little bit because it was such a close fight against Talia Santos in her last time out that people are just starting to have a little bit of questions, man. They're starting to think, hey, is that a chink in Valentina's armor now? Can you be able to hold her down? So I would expect her to come out very highly motivated for this fight against Alexa Grasso to not get taken down. And I think she's going to look like the Valentina of old. Now, this fight is a very, very tough one for me to pick because, as you guys know, I use Alexa Grasso heavy in UFC 4. She's one of my favorite underrated fighters to use in the women's weight classes, man. So when it's somebody that I use in UFC 4 heavy, it hurts my heart to predict fights and to predict against them, man. But I'm going to have to do it in this fight. Valentina is very, very good, man. Like I said, she's elite, man. Elite in every aspect of MMA, man. It's no joke. It's no joke. But I do give Alexa Grasso a bigger chance than I think most people are going to give her. I think she could catch Valentina with a very big shot if Valentina does not take her seriously. And it just kind of sleeps on her striking. I believe she could. But I just think overall Valentina is going to be too much. That kickboxing, the movement, the pace, the kind of like the fluidity with which Valentina strikes with can be very, very unpredictable. She uses a lot of feints, a lot of movements, and she's very, very quick on her feet, which I think is going to stifle a little bit of Alexa Grasso's entry movements and a little bit of her game plan, as well as Alexa Grasso does have a heavy boxing. She has a very boxing heavy stance. Her stance is very wide. So I would expect Valentina to use a lot of leg kicks in this fight. It's going to slow Alexa Grasso down. But I don't see this being a finish. I think Valentina Shevchenko will win by unanimous decision. I would say 50-45, but I'd go 49-46 as well. I'll give Alexa Grasso one round. So I'll say 49-46, Valentina Shevchenko to be able to become the first title holder in the new era to collect all of them rubies. If she wins this fight, she'll have 8 title defenses in a row. And that's what I'm going with. So that's my pick for this fight. Let's go ahead and look at the odds right now. Valentina is a minus 800 to Alexa Grasso's plus 575. So this is a big underdog too. If Alexa Grasso is able to beat Valentina Shevchenko, oh look, it just moved up. So plus 600 to minus 850. It just changed as we spoke. So it's a very, very big underdog if Alexa Grasso is able to pull off the dub against Valentina Shevchenko. But all right, it's time to move into that main event fight. We got the return of the GOAT, Jon Jones, and he's taking on the #1 ranked heavyweight in the UFC right now, Cyril Gane. And man, oh man, is this a very, very interesting fight. Very, very interesting fight. We got the footwork king himself of the heavyweight division in Cyril Gane taking on probably the best grappler in heavyweight right now, Jon Jones. And man, have I been on this fight for a week. I have been watching every little bit of content that I can on Jon Jones. I've been watching Henry Cejudo's breakdowns of Jon Jones. I've been watching Michael Bisping's breakdowns of Jon Jones. I've been watching Chael Sonnen, Ariel Helwani. I watched the round table that they had with DC, Dominic Reyes, Anthony Smith, and Rashad Evans on Jon Jones, just to see what these guys had to say about the fight. And man, if this isn't just as big of a pick'em fight as they come, man, because we don't know. I think of the people's question, the biggest question of Jon Jones is Jon Jones going to look like the Jon Jones of old? Is he going to be dominant? How is he going to look after the 3-year layoff? Because the last time we seen Jon Jones, in all honesty, he honestly could have lost his last fight against Dominic Reyes. It was a very, very close fight, and it was closer than what we're used to seeing a Jon Jones fight be. It wasn't as dominant of a fight as we're used to seeing from Jon Jones. So I feel like the big question mark is going to be, how is Jon Jones going to look? Is he going to look really rusty? Is he going to look better than he's ever looked now that he's gained a lot of weight? Is he going to be as strong? Is his cardio going to be able to hold up for 5 rounds, having added on this massive amount of weight? So that's just in the Jon Jones corner. In the Cyril Gane corner, we kind of know what we're getting out of Gane. I mean, just look at his last performance against Tai Tuivasa. I mean, he got dropped in that fight and then just came back and showed that there's a real dog in him. Came back and finished Tai and just really put on a masterful performance in striking against Tai. I mean, from the front kicks to the body, to the perfectly timed roundhouse kick to the body, to the finish with his hands. Just an overall beautiful performance in terms of striking from Cyril Gane. And he really showed that he can come back from adversity. And that was something that people started to question after the Francis Ngannou fight, where Francis kind of just took him down, wore him out, and at the first sign of adversity, Gane just kind of wasn't able to overcome it. But in his last fight, he really showed that. But there's really big questions of, has he done enough in his defensive grappling to keep a guy like Jon Jones off of him? And what happens if Jon Jones is able to grapple him? Is he going to be able to have enough cardio really to win this fight? And it's honestly a very valid question, because although Cyril Gane does have really good footwork, that in and out movement, he is very, very big. He's 250 pounds. So according to physics, if Jon Jones is able to grapple him heavy, that those muscles are going to start to get filled up with lactic acid. It's going to, all that muscle is going to start to be a little bit heavier now. It's going to start to wear on that cardio. So that's what I think a lot of people are questioning on Cyril Gane. But with that being said, let me go ahead and make my prediction for this fight. It's a very, very close fight. And I think this is, like I said again, this is the very old striker versus grappler matchup. Very, very heavy striker versus grappler matchup. And usually in these kind of fights, I have to pick the grappler. And I have to be consistent with it, ladies and gentlemen. I have to be consistent because I picked Gamra to beat Jalen Turner just because Gamra is an elite level grappler. So I'm going to go with Johnny Bones Jones. I'm going to go with Johnny Bones Jones to win this fight. I would say I could see Jon Jones wading the water through the first 3 rounds, pushing Cyril Gane up against the cage, working his clinch game. He might not be able to get him down in the first 3 rounds, but I think by the 4th round, Cyril Gane is going to start slowing down just a little bit more, and I think Jon Jones will finally be able to take him down. And then I could see Jon Jones winning by sub in the 4th round. In the 4th round, I'm going to give Jon Jones the win by sub in the 4th round, but I would not be surprised to see Cyril Gane being able to stuff a lot of these takedowns and maybe making it a little bit of a closer fight than a lot of people might think, in their opinions. I think he's going to be able to stuff a lot of the takedowns as well early, but I just see Jon Jones being a little bit too much for him. But that's the big question: is Jon's cardio going to be able to hold up in them later rounds? Which I think it is, man. He's been training heavy in grappling, and Cyril Gane just isn't a super aggressive fighter. I think Cyril's gonna you know, he does a good job of staying out of those 50-50 spots. So I think he's going to allow Jon enough time to be able to rest and recover in between rounds, and as well as in the rounds, for him to be able to maintain a high level of cardio heading into those later rounds. And then I just think, you know, Jon Jones' his grappling is just going to be too much in the later rounds. But that's my pick for it, guys. Let's go ahead and look at the live odds right now. It's sitting at -175 for Jon Jones for a +150. So it's damn near almost a pick 'em fight, just a little bit in favor of Jon Jones. And actually, Jon Jones, when these fight odds did get released, he actually was the underdog. So that's just how much respect a lot of people have garnered for Cyril Gane. So I mean, this is as pick 'em of a main event fight as you could really get. But those are my picks for the fights, guys. Let me know in the comment section what your guys' picks are for these fights. It might be opposed. Do you guys have Jon Jones winning? Are you excited to see him back in the octagon? And overall, I just really hope you guys enjoy the hell out of these fights, man. We don't get fight cards like this stacked very, very often, guys. So enjoy the fight card tonight. That's it for the video, guys. If you guys did enjoy this fight video, make sure to slap that subscribe button if you're new, as well as slap that like button. And like I said, let me know what your guys' fight predictions are in the comment section. But until the next video, guys, take it easy, be safe, enjoy the rest of your guys' day, afternoon, evening, depending on where you guys are watching this from. And I will see you guys in the next video.